Hey friends, welcome back to my sewing room. My name's TeresaLouise. I quilt too. I'm so glad you could be here with me today on June 6th or 7th. Yeah, June 7th already. And guess what? It snowed this morning. Yeah, it's crazy, crazy weather. So yeah, it's cold, but the sun is trying to come out. And I hope you can join me here for a little while today. I'm going to work on the friendship quilt, what I'm calling the variation 2, and that's the plan for today. So let me bring everything up. Almost there. Looks like we got a few people popping in. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Polly. Hello, Kathy. Hi, Deb. Hi, Sherilyn. Welcome in, ladies. Hello, Eastern Oregon. Guess what? I had snow this morning. I know. I got up and I was like, are you kidding me? It's snowing? And then I went down to the store and the post office. And when I was coming out of the store, it started to hail. It didn't last very long, just long enough for me to be out in it. As soon as I got back into the house, it was done. But yeah. So it's a cold day, but the sun is trying to come out, and it's a good day to sew. Let me just say that. It's a good day to sew. Um, Hello, Cindy. Yeah, yikes. That's what I said. We did get a little bit of snow up in the higher elevation, up in the mountains, that I can see from here. So that's good. I mean, we really need the moisture. So I'm going to try not to complain about it. And besides that, it gives us an opportunity to be in the sewing room doing something, right? I don't have to feel bad about not being outside on a nice day. So it's about, 50 maybe. I think it was like 34, 32, 34 when I first got up. And I suppose I should have looked at the weather report because I didn't bring in any of my plants. So my hanging baskets that I just made last week, because I figured all of this was done. And so I guess I'm going to have to go back to the nursery and get more plants, get more flowers. Oh, well, that's what happens when you live in the mountains, right? Yeah, it's cold there too, Kathy. Yeah. So I'm going to work on the friendship quilt today and the second variation. And that's all I'm going to do today. And let's see. What else? What else has been going on? Uh, if so, last night my brother called me, and he had to take his wife to the hospital, and he said at the time he thought she was having a really bad migraine, which she does get those, but I guess this one was really bad. And so they got, got the pain under control, and they did a CT scan, I guess, some sort of scan, and found out that she has an aneurysm, um, and blood in the brain, around the brain. So that's why she was in so much pain. Um, the aneurysm is really small and does not appear to be causing the blood. There's something else going on that's causing little blood vessels in the brain to bleed. They don't know what. So my husband or my brother and his wife live in a small town in Oregon, and they decided to go ahead and life flight her to Bend, Oregon, which is much bigger and a lot more doctors. And Eastern Oregon probably knows what I'm talking about. And so they got her life flighted in there last night, and got her blood pressure under control. Her blood pressure was up to like 190 over something. It was crazy, crazy high. So that's under control. The bleeding has stopped. There's still blood, but there's no new blood. So they're just going to keep her in ICU for today and monitor her, and then the doctors will show up tomorrow because it's the weekend, right? And unless it's like a dire emergency. So I guess that's one good way to look at it. Maybe it's not as big as emergency as you first think, but who knows, about doctors these days. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. Anyway, she is stable, but if you could say some prayers or send your positive vibes for healing and so forth, I would really appreciate it, for her. And for my brother is, of course, just, fit to be tied. He's a mess. And they've been married for, I think they've been together for about 36 years or so. So they've been together for a while. So yes, I really appreciate that, everyone. Hi, Marla. Hello, Pamela. Hi, Mona. Yeah, I had too much going on yesterday, Mona. Probably just heard, with my brother and everything, and I wanted to um, keep my phone line open and available. So, plus my neck and shoulder. It's been a week, let me tell you. Um, how is your foot doing, Mona? Is it? I know it was really bruised. Is it broke? Did they find out anything? You're doing your nails? Okay. Well, maybe you can tell me later. I thought about doing my nails today too, but I did not get around to it. Hi, Mary, and thank you. Hi, Joan. Okay, she's quilting a quilt, so she'll be lurking. Yeah. Hello, lurkers. Oh, you just finished? It's much better. I can walk PT this week. Hi, Kathy. Um, Kathy, my brother's wife is in the hospital. Uh, so she's in ICU right now. They're keeping a good eye on her and taking care of her. They found an aneurysm. It's pretty small, but there's other bleeding going on. Um, but it looks like that has stopped, that bleeding. But she's got like, she's in a lot of pain. So they're kind of trying to keep her pain level down and her blood pressure. Of course, if they can keep her pain down, that certainly will help with the blood pressure, right? So just asking for prayers. Hi, Nancy. So that's happening. Brandon's doing okay. He's taking his nap. So, but he actually a couple of days ago it was nice and sunny outside, and he started doing some cleaning up out in the garage, and he actually did not take a nap. I was very shocked. So, yeah. But he did end up going to bed really, really early. He's like, oh, God, maybe I should have taken a nap because he wanted to go to bed like at 7 o'clock. Anywho, so when it's nice out, we're trying to be outside, um, getting ready for yard sales, going through stuff, organizing stuff, cleaning things up. Um, because, I told him that I want to move. And I think he finally believes me. Uh, and I do not want to move all the stuff that we moved here. So he needs to sell the camper, sell some cars and trucks, and other stuff. Just leave my sewing room alone. I will take care of that. Right? Sell your stuff, but don't touch mine. Yeah, move closer to town. Yeah. Yeah, with everything that goes on as you get older. I mean, I would still like to be like outside of a town, not right in town, because that will just drive me crazy. All that noise, uh, because I won't, I'm not used to it. And so, yeah, I would just like to be like 5 to 10 miles at the most, maybe 15 from the hospital. I don't want to have to worry about life flight because, that's pretty much what you got here. I mean, we do have a ambulance. They are all volunteer. They do a wonderful job. Um, but most of the time, once they pick you up, they take you up to our little airport that we have, and Life Flight comes and gets you. So, yes, Brandon and I are lifetime members of Life Flight. And even when I lived in Oregon, um, we were, an hour and a half or so away from any little hospital. And so we've always had Life Flight for years. So, which it's well worth it, believe me, because you don't have to pay for that trip. It is the one insurance I will always carry. Yeah, because Brandon has used it. Brandon used it once in Oregon. I used it once in Oregon. Um, He has used it three times here in Idaho, and I've used it one time in Idaho. So it's been well worth the money. And if you buy a lifetime membership, it's a lot cheaper. So, best thing to have in these rural areas, I'll tell you. Okay, so I'm going to get to sewing and chatting. Hi, Brenda. If I keep the stuff on there that I made for my neck, it feels pretty good. But it's kind of this. So yeah, yard sales are a lot of work, and I'm gonna try and take some things just to Goodwill, you know. But I thought I have one of those pop-up canopies, you know, it's like 10 by 10 or something, and I'm gonna set some tables up under there, and then just start bringing stuff out, and then like do a yard sale every Saturday for a month. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'm being careful. Brandon's helping me out. If there's anything too heavy, he he he's taking charge of that. So okay, so last time I was sewing on the sew and flips for the stars. So I'm just going to keep doing that and visit. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. This is what I'm making. And these are those potato chips. That's what people call them. 2.5 by 4.5. And you all should have the information, supply list and all that already. I think most of you already do. So if you don't, you can go over to the main page, go under post and community tab, and you find a supply list there. You can hear me well? Great. Hi, Gladys. Yes, Cindy, I think it did start from the horse because I was looking up so much and I was doing this. And I think it just irritated I've had sore vertebrae in my neck for a long time, and I think it just irritated that. And I've had rotator cuff surgery too, and so yeah, you know. Hi, Lainey. Hello, Jean. Okay, so there you go. That's what I'm doing, and I have all of my accent for the stars, because we're adding stars to this, just like this one back here. Now we have the stars, right? And you have to add an accent fabric, do a sew and flip. Like, right? So sew along here and then flip that. So that's what I'm working on. Does anybody have any questions about the friendchip variation 2? This one is going to have sashing, all of which we've talked about last time in the last video. But I'll be happy to go through it all again if you need me to. Hello, SK. How's it going? Hey, Joyce. Thanks for the thumbs up. Uh-oh, that did not sound good. What the heck was that? Found some thread stuck in there. I should probably take this plate off and clean it. All right. Do a little test run here. Fingers crossed. Okay. Yeah, it tingles. It starts to tingle and then it starts to hurt. Yes, it'll be pretty much the same. The only difference is the the new one will have sashing between the rows with more little stars. So, but basically the blocks, the main block, you make the same. So you could go ahead and start making your blocks. So if you have a jelly roll, you need 42 strips. You cut those into 2.5 by 4.5 inch chips, pieces. You should get 8 out of each strip. Plus, you're going to have enough left over to get 2.5 inch squares. You need 336 of these chips. And so, yeah, you need the whole jelly roll or 42 strips. Okay. And then you need 48 accent fabric for your stars. Okay. So you can use whatever accent fabric you want, whatever color. I'm using white on white. You need 48 of these, 2.5 by 4.5 inch strips. 48. You need 48 2.5 inch squares, which you're going to get plenty from your jelly roll strips, but you need 48 of these. And, you know, keep the rest because we're going to use the rest of them. You should get at least 126 when you do the cut all 42 jelly rolls. Okay. I've said this so many times, I haven't memorized. And that's what you need to, that's all that you need to start out with. Okay. Um, so now I'm sewing the 2.5 inch squares onto my um, 2.5 by 4.5 inch accent fabric. And I'm sewing on a diagonal so that I get that, a sew and flip. Hi, Mona. Okay. And then I'll show you how we sew all those together. And of course, my screen shows everything backwards. Of course it does. All right. Is my sewing machine loud? I'm just curious. I think Brandon's up from his nap. This is looking pretty good. I'll show it to you later. I still need to work on the hair on the mane. Not 100% happy with that. And a little bit more on the nose. But I'm thinking thread paint, thread paint, thread paint. Thank you, Mona, for putting all those in. Very sweet of you. It's not loud at all. Great. So when I'm doing these, I try to do as much chain piecing as I can because, makes it go a lot faster. Make sure I'm Yeah, I thought this one did not look right. I'm like, wait a minute. I got to make sure when in looking at this, when you put your 2.5 inch square on the top, of your 2.5 by 4.5. I have drawn a line on my square from corner to corner on the diagonal, right? And so this upper left-hand corner goes in the upper left-hand corner of the chip. So you'll be sewing in the upper left hand to the lower right hand. And I'm just going to look through these real quick and make sure I did not mess up any other ones. Okay. And I'm going to look at all of these too, because sometimes we, make mistakes. Okay, that looks okay. Only one mess up, that's pretty good. Yes, if you guys don't know this, KY Brenda has a channel that she's starting to get going, so go check her out. She just posted a get to know me video. And hello, Terry. Hello, Joe. How are you doing? And I'm going to let Brandon know that I'm up here, so I'll be right back. Hey, honey. I'm upstairs. Really, I just had to check on him. Got to check on my old man, I would like to be able to play music. We could do karaoke. Except for I don't think you guys really would want to hear me singing. I used to not be too bad at singing, but as time goes on, like, I could never really understand where I'm supposed to start singing to the music. I was never good at that. I do okay if somebody else is singing and I can, I can hear it. I was more like the backup girl, you know. Oh my goodness. A 6-inch pineapple block? That's little. Hi, Sarah. How are you doing? Making dinner? Mmm. What are you having? Inquiring minds want to know. See, now my shoulder and neck are starting to tingle. That tingling feeling. I should have brought my my medicine up. My neck oil. All right. So there is that. Now I'm just going to have to press and cut, and then I can start sewing blocks together. One thing you could use on these when you press them is if you have one of those acorn pins, it works really good to keep those seams flipped over. It's got a felt tip. It's really about the only thing I use this for. So the sashing is 2.5 by 16.5, and it'll be white. And then the stars that I'm using, the fabric I'm using with the sashing is all the dark pieces from my jelly roll. And I think you need 98. Let me look. 92. You need 92 of these 2.5-inch squares. Now you could do, if you want your stars to be like, I'm doing red, white, and blue, basically like a quilt of valor. I mean, there's other colors besides red, white, and blue. There's kind of a light tan color in this. Um, but if you want those stars that are in your sashing to be all one color, then that's okay too. I just want to use up all of the jelly roll as possible. So, um, you will need 92 of these. And you need 23 sashing strips, 2.5 by 16.5. 23. Okay. Hey, Stitches, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Says I finally caught up with you live. No, it's better than looking up though. When it's in the 90s, I like to make BLTs or tacos. I love tacos. Okay. Thanks, Ellen. Write that down. Because knowing me, it takes me a little while to remember people's names. And of course, right when I was looking at the chat, something pops up. I had tacos last week. But tonight, I'm going to have something that I shouldn't have, which is breaded coconut shrimp and onion rings. Just a little bit. The shrimp is okay to have, and the onions are okay to have. It's the breading and deep frying or bake. I don't think I'm going to deep fry them. I think I'm going to bake it. Yeah, I'll bake them. That way they won't be as bad. It just sounded good. And then, of course, Brandon went out and cut up some of the rhubarb because I had bought 2 nice big packages of strawberries. So he went out and cut up rhubarb and brought it in. So then, of course, I had to make a pie. Strawberry rhubarb pie, really good. And I'll tell you something that tastes really good in that is a little bit of orange zest that really helps cut the tang of the rhubarb. It's really good that way. A little bit of orange zest. All right, so I'm just over here. I'm going to iron these. Let's see. I'll re-iron these too. And Just going to use my acorn pin right in the seam here. Okay. I think I need to clean my iron. Okie doke. They're all done. Okay, those are cut already. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Gloria. How you doing? Oh, well, that would be fun, Brenda, with your granddaughter. Ooh, that sounds good. Meatloaf, smashed mashed potatoes, and Hawaiian rolls. Yep, sweet friendship. Stars, exactly. Let's see. Is it Pam? I know I wrote that down somewhere. Okay, so now I can cut now I got to cut the excess off, so put that back over, measure out 1/4 of an inch, and cut away. Keep the cutting going. Roll on. That was rawhide. I know, didn't sound like it, but okay, this piece needs to be pressed a little bit more. Hi, Deb. Ding, ding. I did. Wow, I did good. Boy, sometimes it is so hard to get the lines out of your fabric. And especially when it's been folded for a while. That fold line is not easy to get out of there. All right, here we go. I always press these first before I cut off the excess, because if you need to fix it, it's easier to fix it before you cut these off. And Kathy, I'm going to sew a couple of sashing parts, so I can show you guys what I'm doing. So as soon as I get this done, I'll sew a couple of those. And then we can sew some blocks. Oh, a waffle sounds good. Yeah, fat quarter. So the lines are hard to get too. But if you use that acorn pin down the middle of that line, that does help. Now, my acorn pin came with the acorn starch or whatever it is, but as soon as I ran out of that, I did not buy more of that stuff. I just put regular liquid starch in it, and it works okay too. But you can also buy things in the art department that are, you know, not as expensive, and you can use those the same way, like a Do I have one over here? No, it's with my art stuff. But I also have a pen that has like a little paintbrush on it. Kind of works the same way. And you can get those at the art supply. Yeah, or you can just use water. Yep. But I just take this pen, you know, and go right on the line, because most of the time I don't want the rest of the fabric to be starched or wet. So that's why I do it that way. Now, if it's a fat quarter and I'm going through and doing all my pressing before I cut, that's a little different. But still, if you put that right on the line, it does get that crease out a lot better. All of these little triangles that I'm cutting off will be saved, and they're going in a little bag for you know who. Oh, that works too. Some fabric softener for refill. That's a good idea. Hey, Susan, how are you doing? Probably like potato starch or rice starch. White rice has a lot of starch in it. Potatoes have a lot of starch in it, so you could use all that. Oh, good, Kathy. Glad to hear it. Well, that's okay, Susan. It's okay to lurk. Hello, Lily. Happy Sunday to you too. Okay, almost, I think this is my last one here. Sorry if I'm missing your comments. It's hard to keep up. All right, so I can set this aside for now. And these are going to go over there, because I have a big Ziploc bag over here that these are going to a new home. All right, so the next, okay, these are fabrics for the next block that I'm doing. I'll keep all those together. All right, so I have my strips. Okay, my sashing strips. And I'm just going to do one to show you how I'm doing it. So these are 2.5 by 16.5. And I'm using white, but you know, you can use whatever color. Well, actually, it's a white on white. And I'm going to use my 2.5-inch squares. And I think I told you need 92 of these. And mine are just going to be a variety of colors. So but you can make yours a solid color if you want, solid red, solid blue, whatever you want. And I'm going to draw a line from corner to corner on four of these. And I'm just going to mix it up. If you're new to quilting and you're drawing this line on there, you can use, I'm using a friction pin. It will iron away, but I only really use those on fabric that I'm going to be cutting on that line, so it doesn't matter anyway. But you could use a pencil or a regular pen or chalk. Okay, so up here on the top, again, my sewing line is going to be, this is my left hand, it's my right hand. I know the camera's backwards. So from the upper left hand corner to the lower right is where I'm going to sew. So the flip will go up into the upper right hand corner. So upper left, start sewing to the lower right. Okay, so that's your first one, and I'm just going to check it. Good enough. Okay, then you can cut that off. I cut that out. flip it over, and now grab another piece. And this time, this one is going to go, my top line is on the right corner. So upper right to lower left. And you got to, you know, do it where your first piece is already full pressed over. Okay. Okay, then I can go ahead and cut off that extra on that side. So that is what it'll look like. So I'm going to do that to every end of my sashings. Okay. And then you're going to have, you know, extras of these. And those are going to be the cornerstones. Two and a half inch cornerstones. Okay, so you do that to all 23 of your sashing pieces. And that's going to be your stars, part of your stars, okay? Now, some of you guys are making your sashing smaller. You know, so if you're doing a 1.5 inch by 16.5 inch, then these will be 1.5 inch square. Hi, Zaza. Right. The friction pins can leave a line. It is possible. That's why I only use it on the areas that I'm cutting on, a line that I'm cutting on, you know, so it doesn't really matter. But it might matter on the rest of it. I have had a line on white fabric that didn't go all the way out, and that was using a red pen. And there, you know, people have said that they've seen the lines come back. Those pins really weren't made for fabric. So don't be mad at the pen maker because they didn't make them for fabric. Yeah, test on the back first. I never use them for like quilting, like free motion quilting. Like if you want to draw a design on your fabric, no, I don't do that. Hi, Judy. Hi, Donna. Oh, good, Donna. Yeah, I've only had an issue a couple of times, so, you know. I just be aware of it. And yeah, I would test it out. Yeah, there are some of those chalk pencils that don't disappear very good either. So I would just test out any type of pen, pencil, or anything like that. I would test it out first and make sure it's going to do what you want it to do, where you want it to do it at. Right? Okay. I need something. Hold on. Okay. Just wanted to get this so I can show you guys. Oh no. Yeah, go take care of things, Joyce. No, Kathy, I I have several rolls of that. Have square triangle paper. I am going to use it sometime. Because I have so many. I've gotten these from the Fat Quarter Shop. So sampler box. This one finishes at 2 3/4 finished half square triangle. Unfinished is 3 1/4. So you could just slide it down to 3 inches if you want to, or you could trim it down to, yeah, you'd have to work on that because you'd have to change the line. I wonder why they made it 3 1/4 and 2 3/4. I don't know. Then I have one that is 3 1/2 unfinished by 3 inches finished. And then I have one, oh, this is a jelly braid paper. Ooh, that one sounds like fun. And then this one is I have no idea because I took the thing off and now it doesn't say it anywhere. Let's see. Well, that sucks. I think it's 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. I guess I know now why. Okay, this one says 2 inches finished. That's a different one. I got them all mixed up. That doesn't surprise me. And another one. All from the Fat Quarter Shop. So sampler box. And yeah, 3 of them have not even been opened yet. One of these days, I'm thinking about doing like a scrap quilt using those. Okay, so now I'm going to put this together. It's going to look different on the camera, but I'm going to tell you verbally how to do this, all right? So you're going to have, and I've already sewn this, but let's see. Get one that's not sewn. All right, you're going to have some of these are sewn already. All right, so your accent with your 2.5 inch square here, your star is in the lower right hand corner. So it's going to be that way with every block unit that you make, every one. Okay. And then you're going to take a chip and another chip. Put this chip on this side. I'll take this chip over here, like so. So you're going to have 2 here, going the long way. Then you're going to take another chip. Getting a lot of blues in here. Let's see. We'll come up here on the top. And another one down here on the bottom. Then over here with your star, you need 1 more chip. And let's see. And then we need 2 more here. I think I'll do a dark red. Okay, so the first thing you sew are these 2 together on the long side. Sew those together. And there go here. And then you sew these 2 together on the short side, like that. Voila. And then you sew these 2 together on the short side. And then I need to press this. And it doesn't matter how you press, because you're not going to have to worry about matching up seams, okay? Now, this one and this one, you sew this one on the this long, or well, it's shorter than this, so it goes here like that. And then this one goes here like that. Okay? But I'm going to use the other colors that I had already. Except for that one. Okay, let's see. Do I want? No. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and sew these on. I kind of have a sinus headache. The the pine trees, oh my God, you should see all the pollen. Okay, now I'm gonna sew this other piece on the other end. When the wind blows, the pollen is just thick in the air. This yellow pollen flying all over the place. Yeah, you know, Susan, I think I gave those away thinking that I wouldn't need them. And I see now why I need those. But I'm just going to have to remember to mark them after I use it. I have to mark them. Yeah, I just try to do something that contrasts, Kathy. Yeah, I have a lot of primitive gathering papers too, Joyce. Yeah, that pollen, when the wind blows those trees, oh, you guys should see it. It's crazy. I think these are a little, let's see, I'm going to flip that over. That's okay. Good enough. They're all going to be all mixed up anyway, so I suppose it doesn't matter that much, but just try to spread out your colors. Or you could do something else, like always have a dark one in the upper left hand corner, and then when things, you'll have another secondary design in there. Okay, so that's on there, and now I'm going to sew this on to the other side. One thing I like about this block is you don't have any seams to match up, which is awesome. just press it. Okay, and that should come out at 8.5. Okay, 8.5. You might, depending on how your 1/4 inch seam is doing, you might have to do a little bit of trimming up. But just try to, you know, have it as close to 8.5 as you can. Um, because your sashing that you cut is based on 8.5 inch blocks or units. This is, you need 4 of these units in one block. Okay, so I'm just going to do 2 more of these so I can sew all those together and show you, and then I'll sew one of the sashings on and show you that too. Okay, so I'm just gonna move that, set that over there. So I know I need to trim this up a little bit. Hopefully it still comes out at 8.5. So let's see. Luckily I have a ruler that is 8.5. This needs a little bit off of there. Just a sliver. Okay, so there's that one. All right, so here we go again. I'm just going to lay it out right here. So I need another accent. Which I had already. Okay, so I had accent. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take the 2 in the middle and sew those together on the long side. And then I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to chain piece. I can chain piece a little bit here. So then I'm going to take these two and sew that on the short side. And these two from this side, again on the short side. And I'm going to cut this one off of there on the end. And then now I can take this one and sew it on top of that one. Okay, and I'll press these. And then this last one goes on the bottom here. Press that. Okay, now I can take this side and sew that on. See, it really does go pretty fast. Once you get, you know, get going and you do some chain piecing. Oh, is that, now that Susan says Miss Ellen, now I know who you are. That's funny. You changed the name on the channel. I hadn't noticed that. Okay, there's that one. Okay, and now the last piece. Hello, Scrappy Crafter. I think it's that acorn or that starch that I put in here that's giving me the headache. I need to dump it out of there because I forgot I used that stuff called flatter, and that's flatter stuff gives me a headache. Okay, so there is one more unit. So just keep those stars, your accent pieces, in the lower right hand corner. Okay, there's that one, all pressed up. One more, and that'll give me my 4. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I use this piece. All right, so I have decided that I'm going to keep a dark blue in the upper left-hand corner because I've done it on those other 3, so I might as well do it on the rest of these. Alrighty. Okay, so your ones in the middle are going to be going a long way. Pretty one. Oh, there we go. Need one right here. Okay, for that one, and then I need one here, and one here, and one here. God, it sounds like Brandon's listening to cartoons. I'm going to put this light blue over here. This dark blue over there. Okay, good enough. Oh, they did? Huh. Well, that's weird, because I know you still come up. I watch you down then when you're on live, but I am usually just lurking. I just didn't notice. So that's weird. I know, Joyce, right? We just keep picking. Oh yeah, you could do that. Um, KS. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. Yeah, it's going to be dark navy blue, Kathy, for the binding. Okay, so we're going to sew these two together in the middle on the long side. I need to move that that pin. Then these two. O'Hario. Yeah, your unit blocks might be smaller unless you make a bunch of strips. That might work. Okay, and then these two. I wonder what he's watching down there. Sounds like a comedy. Okay, there's that one and that one. Okay, there's our centerpiece. Okay, and one on top. This, like I said, this really is a fast block once you get going. Especially if you don't really care how you lay it out. You know, the scrappier the better, right? That one. Ooh, the sun is really coming out now. And I need another one on the bottom here. I'm getting so tired of these pop-ups. The laptop is worse than the cell phone for notifications, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Kathy. All right, now this one looks like I got maybe a little too much blue in it, but that's all right. And then this side. Okay, now I can press. I'm getting to think I cut these blue ones out wrong, because that one is way off. Let me see. Hmm. Let's see what happened here. Like one comes out really good, and then the next one doesn't. I don't quite understand that. All right, now the next thing you're going to do, so I got 4 done. And all these stars are going to come together in the middle. So here we go. So let's say you have them all stacked up on this side. Stack them all up so all your accent fabrics are on the right hand side. Okay, this one, boy, this one is really, Hmm. Okay, so they're all right there. Okay. So just take the one off the top and then turn it to the right, so clockwise, and lay it there. And the next one, grab it, skip this spot, and you're going to lay it here, but turn it clockwise twice. Okay. And then the last one, same thing, you're going to turn it clockwise 3 times. So now your star, now you've made a star. Okay, you get that? The more you chat, the more crown points. Oh, hi Victoria. Keep everybody chatting. Okay, gotcha. I'm not. The colors are great. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to sew these two. Now I'm going to look at it first and make sure, you know, I don't want to change anything, all right? Um, look at it through the, I mean, because you could keep moving things around, or you can just go for it. And let me see. I wonder, I might switch these two. See how that looks. Okay, I think that would be okay. Okay, so I'm going to sew these two together and then these two together, and then I can sew those together, okay? And then these 4 will make up the block. there's that one. And now, so these two together. Okay, there's that. Now, press one seam one way. So this one on the top, I'm pressing it to the left. So the one on the bottom is going to go to the right. Okay, then you sew these two together. And this is the only time you have to match up the seam. On the block. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm just going to press that. Okay, so there is one block. It is 16 and a half square. And that's what it should be. Hi, Giovanna. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, Kathy. So I think this, yeah, I think this design is really good for the for a quilt of valor type quilt, for sure. Okay, and really, like I said, once you get going on it, you really can go pretty fast. Now I am going to double check my sashing, because you want it to be the right size, like Joyce was saying. Might not want to cut out your sashing until you verify the size of your block. All right. Okay. So that looks okay. All right. So see the sashing. Once you get blocks made, then on the right hand side of your block, you could go ahead and put a sashing on there. But I need another star on the end here. Yeah, but 16 and a half came out right for me. So, but before you cut your strips for your sashing, I would really double check your stitch length. Yeah, I'm gonna like this white sashing in between the blocks with the stars. Yeah. Yep, I'm gonna like it, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside, and you just keep sewing those. And you need 12. You need 12 of these. Okay, so country vibe, yep. Now you want to make it? We'll get to cutting. Okay, Joe. The pattern is the video. The supply list is, go to the main page and go to my main page on YouTube. You go to post, community post, and the supply list is there. You've got a pencil and pen, I can tell you. You need one jelly roll, and you need 1 yard of accent fabric, and that'll be for your stars and your sashing. That's pretty easy, huh? But in that supply list, is also cutting instructions. So, all right. Well, hi, John. How are you doing? Guys Craft 2, thanks for popping in. Oh, how nice. Giovanna got a card from Joe. You're on it, Mona? Awesome. Okay, so that's one block down. We got a lot more to go. Still have all those to sew and flip also. All right, I can hang this up over here. So if you make this project without the sashing, then this is what it looks like. And this was the first variation of the potato chip. That's what we're calling it. Potato chip or friend chip. That's what we're calling it. I'm sorry. That's what we're calling it. Friend chip quilt. And we did this in a different video already that's out there on my YouTube channel. So, but this one that's going to be red, white, and blue, we're going to add the sashing. Sashing with stars and cornerstones. Okay, but this is, like I said, this is what it might look like without the sashing. And adding a 3-inch border. I'm going to like the red, white, and blue. Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Giovanna. Uh, yeah, if you want to make black stars, yeah. Yes, the accent is the star color. Yes, and the sashing for the new quilt. So the friendship variation 2 is what I'm doing now, which is what has the sashing. And so the stars is the accent and the sashing. Yes, we're making a Cult of Valor for the guild. Yep. Yeah, I really like it. So, depending on how this goes, this might be my go-to Cult of Valor quilt because I think once you, like I said, once you get going and sewing, it's going to go pretty fast. Because now I'm just going to start sewing all these units together, before I put the units and make the blocks, but I just wanted to get at least one block done for you guys here today, and also talk about the sashing. So thank you, Gloria. Yes, I think the white sashing will really make these colors stand out. I know when Joyce did hers a little bit different than mine on the first one, it really stood out with that sashing. Her sashing was smaller. I think she did like 1 3/4 or something around there. So it was smaller, but it still looked really good. So I'm picking up on her design. Okay, how are we doing on time? Oh, it's 3:30. That's not too bad. 3:30. What time did I come on? 1:30? 2 hours. All right, so I might keep sewing until 4 o'clock. So if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in there. And then I'll stop at 4 o'clock. And I'll show you the horse in just a minute. Oh, I also started the kangaroo, or the kangaroo, not the kangaroo. The raccoons. The collage quilt on the raccoons. I started that earlier that past week. But I think I cut out a whole bunch of pieces wrong. So I'm going to have to look at that. I might work on that this afternoon. And I want to work a little bit more on the horse. So, all right, I'll be right back. I'm going to have a snack. I need a chip. The backing fabric, I don't know yet. I think, whoops. I think I have some flannel that I want to try and use for the back. Yeah, it went in the garbage can. That's not good. Yeah, kangaroo. It was a mess up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it with the sashing better. But if you like really scrappy, then I think this first way is a little more just, you know, scrappy. A little nibble. Yeah. I didn't want to look like a oinker. Okay, I will move the camera so you can see the horse. And I don't know if you guys seen this or not, but I changed the collage area a little bit. I moved the big glass so that it's laying lower, and I don't have to look so, you know, it's not up so high. So maybe I'll show you that too. Oh, ouch. Okay, here we go. Ready? There's the horse. There, you can kind of see it a little better. So I still need to do more on the hair, the mane. It looks a little funny right now. It's going to look different because I still got to put all the highlight stuff on there. And then a little bit more on the nose. And then I can put it on a back. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And then there's the new area. I'll come around there and get the camera and show you. So now the glass is on the left hand side of the tables there. It used to be on the right hand. And so that's kind of my work area now for doing collage. That is the raccoons. There's the pattern there, and there's the start. Okay, and there's some batiks, and then kind of the cutout area. If you're wondering, that used to hang in the closet for shoes, and now I use it to sort colors of fabric. Works pretty good. So That's my area. And then I have an ironing board here also, just for more room. And then that's where we were, over there. Okay. All right. Back over here. Yeah, I'm going to like that Quilt of Valor. Yep, yep, yep. All right, I'm going to flip this around. And move the camera back over. Shoulders hurt, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, I'll show you next time, Kathy. Thanks, Mona. Clever girl. Yeah, a big mirror works good. And I have lights back there, so I can turn those lights on. And it's free. It didn't cost me anything. That is the best price, right? Use what you have. All right, I have to nibble again. Yeah, it's just my cell phone. I have 21. I like these spicy chips. They're really good. Lightly seasoned and spicy. They're just corn chips. But yeah, they're good. It says that they're restaurant style. A little bit of jalapeno. Ooh, that sounds good, Mona. The fur babies are doing pretty good. Yeah. Will is up here, and Annie's downstairs with Brandon. So, yeah, they're doing okay. Yeah, I think I might go over and do a little collage quilting. Or at least see if, here is what I'm thinking happened. I think everything on the right or the left side of the raccoons is correct, cut properly, like when you do applique. But everything on the right side isn't cut correctly. I think I cut out two left sides. Yeah. And if that's what I did, I'm in trouble because I don't have any more of that fabric to match up the left side. So I might have to cut it all over again. Or I thought I'll just make it like a regular collage, like the horse collage, where I just cut pieces out as I go. That might be easier and quicker than trying to cut out everything all over again. So keep your fingers crossed that it was only a few pieces that got uh, cut or prepped incorrectly. So, oh, it was too spicy. It was pretty spicy, huh? Yeah. Oh no is for sure. So I need to go over there and find out if that is what I did or not. All right. So let's see. We have 15 more minutes. So I will just sew something together here. Let's see. Bye, Giovanna. Yeah, Zaza, I do too. Especially for a project like that because there was so many little pieces, applique pieces. Yep. It's gonna suck, that's for sure. All right. I didn't realize I didn't have the camera down. Oh, it'll be fixable, I'm sure. Kathy, I guess you probably weren't here when I said I woke up to snow this morning. It was snowing. Can you believe that? Can't wait for you to put the sashing back up on the wall beside the block. Okay, I can do that. But I don't have all of the sashing ready, okay? So this sashing has to have the stars tips sewn into it. So please keep that in mind. So there's part of it. That's kind of what it's going to look like. What? I need to move to Idaho. Yes, snow. I couldn't believe it. I got up this morning at 6:30 and I went, is that snow? Sure enough, it was snow. So this is going to be a star. The sashing will make up another star, but these stars will be darker. And then we'll have the light star in the middle. Okay? It's going to look cool, you guys. We're going to like it. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been pretty cool all day. And then around 12 o'clock, I went to the post office and the grocery store. And when I was coming out of the grocery store, it started to snow again. But it was more like little teeny hail. And it didn't last very long. And the wind started blowing. But now it's sunny. It is kind of cloudy, but let's see what, it's 54 degrees outside. So, any hoot, it's, pretty nice day. It's a bit windy. I wouldn't want to go outside without a jacket on. Plus, I put my long johns back on today. That's right, long johns, because I was just too cold. And I'd have to turn the heater up, to like 75 or more to get warmed up. So I might as well just put the long johns on. Now I'm getting excited about getting this quilt done. I think I had it. Which way did I have it? That way. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Tasha. I know. Kathy, I change clothes like 3 times a day. Because in the morning, I have my nighty lounge clothes on, you know, long pants, lounge pants, maybe a robe, okay? So that's my morning, and then I get dressed, and then if it warms up quite a bit, then I'm gotta go change again because I get too hot with the long johns on, so I gotta take those off. I get too hot with the sweatshirt, so I gotta change my shirt. And then after dinner, put my loungers back on. So yeah, I change a lot every day. Although sometimes if I know I'm not going to go anywhere, I know that I'm not going to go outside or anything like that, um, then I will just wear loungers, lounge clothes all day. Because why not? Why not be comfortable? All right. Alrighty. One looks pretty good. That one. Well, I got another unit done. My Facebook is in the description under this video. I'll grab it for you in just a second. It's I Quilt 2 with TeresaLouise. There's that one. Yippee skippy. And I gotta press that. And then just keep on going. Next, 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 next. All right, it's 4 o'clock, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I love seeing all of you. Just a reminder to please keep my sister-in-law in your prayers. Her name is Rhonda. She's in the hospital right now going through some stuff. She's in ICU. And so if you wouldn't mind saying some prayers for her, I would really appreciate it. And blessings to all of you. And have a great week, everybody. Hi, Sylvia. Bye, Susan. Bye, Joe. Bye, Sylvia. Bye, Kathy. Have a great week. Bye, Mona. Thank you. Goodbye, Crystal. Bye, Jean. I'll just do a little bit of buys. Do a little bit of the buys. Bye, Kathy Quilts. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, I'm going to head on over to the collage area. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.